Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching 5 beginner gym mistakes you need to avoid. This video has over 3 million views on YouTube, so it intrigued me. I want to see what it's about. I want to see what they say, and let's critique it a little bit and see what we think of
Going to the gym can be tough,
this
not always
advice that it
because
gives
getting in
us here.
shape is hard work. For some, the problem is that they're not exactly sure what they're doing in there. The environment, the equipment, the exercises, and heck, even the fashion trends can be difficult to grasp.
I mean, I guess for a beginner, it can be a little bit overwhelming if you don't know where to start, what to do, and then it's the same as anything, right? Like it sucks doing something that you're no good at in front of people that are really good at it. That just kind of goes with anything. But hey, another benefit for the home gym: nobody around, you don't got to worry about nothing.
To enlighten some of our fellow beginner bros and broettes, and even some of you seasoned gym goers, here are 5 beginner gym mistakes that you might want to fix.
I feel like these are going to be pretty general, 5 beginner gym mistakes, but let's see what they say. Starting out with number 5.
You use only machines. There's nothing exactly wrong with machines as they do simplify many exercises.
That's actually a pretty good one. I mean, I think machines are just a great way to get started for most people. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but it's just not really like, I hate to say it, but it's not really like optimal. Like you're going to get a lot more work done in, a lot less effort doing just, getting used to barbell training. Because the thing with machines is like it doesn't take any, like there's no skill curve to it either, right? There's no technique really. You got to play around with it a little bit, but they're, for the most part, they're fairly easy to use. So yeah, machines are a good starting point, and especially if it's like an older person, that's typically what I would do is have them start out just doing machines just to get working, and then do the barbell stuff, work on it over
For the
time.
most part, easy to use. But its simplicity has its drawbacks. One is that machines typically accommodate only average height ranges, making it tough to use if you're too short or too tall. Some machines also follow unnatural movement paths, which can be uncomfortable to use. Free weights are much more, free, allowing you to work with better, more natural patterns.
That's kind of dumb. I would disagree with that. I mean, natural movement patterns are, that's fairly subjective. It gets in that thing that used to be popular. People used to say like functional fitness. Like, there's nothing wrong with using a Smith machine. I mean, you're training it to train the muscles, right? So there's nothing wrong with the angle that it's on. I mean, if it hurts you or you don't like it or whatever, that's fine. You can do something else. But plus, this guy's squat form is really bad. Like, it shows him being completely perpendicular up and down, which is obviously not how you squat. You squat, bent over because you're loaded. You're not rounded, but you're bent over. So this is it's not looking good for Mr. Picture Fit. Let's see what else he's got.
Also, one huge disadvantage is the lack of strengthening stabilizer muscles. Machines already have you set in a fixed, stable position, thus you won't need to kick in much of your stabilizers to keep balance and control. Free weights, in contrast...
That's fine. Yeah, I would agree with that. Stabilizing muscles are important, and you can build them up a lot easier with free weights. Are they the end of the world? No, I don't think it's like the most important thing to drop all the machines because you got to work on your stabilizers. But especially for a beginner... someone that's just starting to lift, going lighter on the free weights, just probably better overall.
Just that.
Once you get to the point you can use them.
Again, that doesn't mean machines aren't good at all. In fact, one of the best machines in all of fitness are the cable machines. But they do still have their limitations, and it's important to integrate free weight exercises into your program wherever you see fit, especially if your goal is overall fitness. Number 2.
That's that's just an obvious thing. It's like, you got to use... It's the same as anything. It's the same as food. A little bit of everything, it's good for you.
You're doing way too many isolation exercises. Yes, I'm talking to you, the one staring in the mirror while doing your 18th set of bicep curls. Believe it or not, there's more to being in shape than the size of your arms. These single joint isolation exercises, like curls, side raises, and tricep pushdowns, only tend to focus on one muscle group at a time. Large compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and shoulder presses, however, hit multiple muscle groups at once, meaning more...
That's just, going back to the same thing that we said. Like, it's just a more efficient way to train. Like, why train... you need the isolation stuff, especially if, there's things you want to work on, like your arms. I'm looking at mine. For example, typically what people do is throw them in at the end. I've done programs, too, where I do it at the beginning when I'm fresh, which is kind of nice, too. So it's just a preference thing.
or work in significantly less time. Compound movements also allow you to work with much heavier weights, which is great if you want to build overall strength and muscle. Now, isolation exercises are still in.
The way I've always said it to people is like, if you just care about building a decent physique, like if it, just to keep it like super simple, right? Like you're gonna grow more muscle and you're gonna look way better from just simply getting better at squatting and deadlifting and benching. Because like the thing that somebody new would say, and like I even said it when I started, I'm sure, is like, well, I don't care how much I squat or deadlift, so why would I work on those movements? Like I just want to get bigger leg muscles, so I'm just gonna use the machine. But it's so much easier. Like if you bring your squat from 135 pounds to 315 pounds, you're gonna look a lot different. You're gonna have a lot more back muscle, leg muscle. Your core is gonna be way stronger. To get that just from doing leg extensions or something like that is going to be so much harder and take so much longer. It's kind of the same thing we've been saying throughout this video, but
muscles that need more work, and they're more
yeah.
effective in controlling
So far, this is
specific
fairly
movement
generic
targets
stuff.
for any given muscle.
It's
But
kind of
the
hit
point
the
is,
same
don't
topic
stick
twice
with
now.
Isolations only. Do your compound movements too, if not more so.
Yeah. Okay.
Number three, you only use light weights.
Only using light weights.
It's understandable that beginners will hesitate to lift heavy. However, avoid doing so goes against one key fitness component: progressive.
I mean, yeah, like using light weights all the time. Like if you're not, that just goes into your programming. Like progressive overload. That's what he's gonna say. Is you got to lift more weight over time to get stronger. Obviously, but yeah, like I think you would want to start out lighter, typically for a while as you learn the movement and stuff. You're not gonna. Like it's kind of a dumb point. It's like you're obviously not going to start out lifting heavy, and you can't just lift the same weights forever either. So I mean that's
overload. The concept that one must persistently increase the demand placed on the muscles to effectively become stronger and bigger.
You got to do more work
you might
over
toss on
time.
a few more pounds once in a while, but nothing even close to your maximum potential. You need to push your limits for results, especially if the goal is getting stronger. Studies repeatedly show that strength gains are best achieved when lifting heavy. That means you need to lift a weight you can only do maybe 5 or 3 reps.
To get stronger, you have to lift heavier weights. Yeah. That's,
max, or even just once. And then after you achieve that, try even more the next time around. No more 40 rep sets unless your goal is strictly endurance. And before wrapping up the last two, I want to give a quick shout out to...
Well, let's skip this one. But yeah, I don't know. So far, these are fairly generic tips. But, I don't really fully disagree with what he's saying. It's just he seems to be kind of hammering home the same points over and over.
Water. A simple but crucial mistake many people make, not just beginners. The thing is, our body is 2/3 water, and on average, we sweat off roughly 1 liter of water for every hour of exercise. If we didn't replenish the lost water, it can lead to dehydration, which comes with many nasty symptoms like muscle cramps, fatigue, poor concentration, and headaches. Qualities you certainly wouldn't want during your physical activities. The simple fix is to bring that water bottle with you. There's really...
Come on. This guy's got 3 million views telling people to drink water while they exercise. Okay, so first off, most gyms have drinking fountains. So, I mean, water is readily available. And as far as drinking water goes, you should drink when you feel thirsty. That's literally what the recommendation is. It's not about, chugging down a gallon of water a day. It's not about, I'm exercising, so... Like, you don't want to chug a bunch of water and then work out, because then you feel gross, you feel bloated and sick, and, yeah. So, I don't really know how to expand on this. It's such a basic...
There's no reason not to, and it's better than relying on the gym's water fountain. Also, if you're doing anything super intense or long endurance, you might want to consider a sports drink or coconut water instead to help replenish the loss of electrolytes. Plus, it has sugars, which replenish energy stores. Just make sure you account for the added sugars in
I think if, I actually would agree with that. Like, having a Gatorade or something mid-workout, if you're starting to feel sluggish, that's something I started doing a while ago when I was doing, like, the type of workouts were taking a very long time. So I would do like all my squatting, and then by the time I got to my benching, I felt kind of not super depleted, but I felt a little bit depleted. So just having like a Gatorade, something with a little bit of calories in it, super easily digestible. Obviously, you don't want to sit down and have a plate of spaghetti. But yeah, there is some benefit to that for sure. Especially with bench press, where it's like you want to feel kind of full and ready to go.
To your overall diet. And finally, number 5, you don't ask for help. There has been a long built stigma of antisocial sentiment in the
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, there's so many people, especially these days, with how much information is just readily available online. Um, it's overwhelming for sure to start when you have no idea, what you're doing or what you want to do. So I mean, asking for help is good, but I mean, you can do this all online. Pretty much by yourself. I guess that's kind of tricky to navigate because there's so much garbage information out there too. Um, so that's tricky. It's like, where do you go? Who do you know to trust? Like I follow certain like fitness people in the space, and I mean, not for really information purposes anymore, but I mean, there's some good ones. Is what I was trying to say. There's some good ones out there, but there's a lot of just people that want to sell you programs and yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one getting good information these days.
Unsolicited fitness advice is often discouraged since no one likes to be told what to do, even with the best of intentions.
Yeah,
But such a
that can be
contentious
annoying
pride
too.
to be independent means we suck at asking for help. As a beginner, there's no doubt you'll need all the help you can get. We also have studies showing that people with social and or coaching support are much more likely to be successful with their goals. It's both a motivational and educational benefit to have someone encouraging and helping you along the way. I'm personally a huge advocate of working with actual professionals, even personal trainers.
I mean, I like that, but it kind of goes back to the same point. How do you find a good coach, right? I've done lots of online coaching. I've done in-person coaching as well. Nothing compares to in-person. It's way better. Online can be good if you just want somebody to program for you. I've done that before. One of the ones I really like actually that I would shout out is called Smart Strength. I've used them before and it's been, very good, and they do like a wide variety of different types of athletes for your goals and stuff. Not affiliated or endorsed or anything. I'm just saying that's a good general pop one that I would recommend. Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, you can do your own research and, follow along with different, exercise plans that you like to do. But I think the biggest thing is just having a set goal in mind, whatever your goal is to work on, work towards that. And you can get your information online for the most part. So I think that's pretty well. Does he have one more? It's okay to ask for help. So these were the tips: use free weights, do compound exercises, use heavy weights, have water in hand, and ask for help. So I mean, very generic stuff. For the most part, it was okay. It was okay. I don't fully disagree with his entire video, but there was definitely some things he could have cleaned up there. So, anyways, you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you agree with these tips? Do you disagree with them? Interested to hear your thoughts and feedbacks. Let me know down below, and we will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Chicken is out. Back.